Now, alcoholism is a family disease. Alcohol use disorder is a disease that affects the entire family. And when you have someone in your family that's suffering from this, the entire family is suffering along with that person. It's like having a tornado in your family. All the focus, all the energy, everything that's talked about is going to be concentrated on that person. How are they feeling that day? What are they going through that day? How is it going to affect us? What fires are we going to have to put out? What trauma are we going to have to work through? And it's a nightmare for families. So this video is about families, what they should be doing, which is very similar to what the alcoholic should be doing. And we're going to discuss this further. But I just want to really point out that families suffer as much as the alcoholic in a lot of cases, and you have to be cognizant of your role in the alcoholic's life and how it affects you as a family member. Now, unfortunately for a lot of spouses, if you have a non-alcoholic spouse and a spouse that's suffering from alcoholism, the non-alcoholic spouse is a lot of times is going to become the caretaker. Unfortunately, they're the ones left holding the bag. They're also going to be, sometimes they're going to feel like a warden in a prison. They're the ones that are going to have to lock down the problem, not allow that person to go out and get alcohol. They have to be the watchkeeper. And it becomes an exhausting situation. And what so many families and spouses and children and tertiary relationships have to understand is that it's not about them. And you have to let that person fail on their own. You didn't cause the problem, you're not the reason for the problem, and you yourself as a family member are not going to be able to solve the problem. You can't fix someone, okay? You can create boundaries. That's all you can do. This is what we're going to do. If you cross that line, well, the nature of our relationship is going to change. You have to understand that as a family member. On that note, when the alcoholic goes to a rehab, for example, for 30 or 60, 90 days, it's a relief to the family. I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. It's an absolute joy and relief to the family. The family has the ability during that period to heal themselves, to get back into their own life and into their own mind because they've been absorbed with all this stress and anxiety and animosity that they have to go through on a regular basis with the alcoholic in their family. So very similar to an alcoholic's recovery, family members also need to recover themselves. And it's very similar reactions that they have to do that the alcoholic does. Like they need to reinvent themselves. If the relationship ends or the person passes away or the person does get into recovery, they should be reinventing themselves, working on themselves. They should be walking, running, something physical activity, weightlifting, biking, hiking. They should feed their mind every day. They should be doing something creative, reinventing yourself. Learn a language, learn how to cook. All kinds of things that can be creative. Woodworking, clay pottery. I don't care what it is, whatever toots your horn. But you have to fill your day and get away from all the stress. You also have to set goals yourself as a family member. Focus on you. Take the focus away from the alcoholic and work on yourself. It's the best way you're going to get through the trauma and the angst and the frustration and the animosity. Don't hold that inside you because you can go down with the ship if you don't watch yourself. Many family members have PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's extremely stressful to live with an alcoholic for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. It's unbelievably stressful. And just be aware of that. And this video is really all about the family. So if you do have an alcoholic in the family, it's really important to take that focus away from them and work on yourself. Don't always obsess with them. You're not going to be able to change that situation. Create boundaries, abide by them, and do what needs to take place to take care of yourself, your children, if it's your parents, if you have a child. It's a similar type of situation because children can absolutely drive you out of your mind if you have an alcoholic children. It's heartbreaking beyond belief. Don't forget to take care of yourself. And again, I go live Monday through Friday, right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We also have the Facebook group called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. Links are in the bio. And when you're ready to work with me one-on-one in my coaching program, again, click on the link in the bio, set up a breakthrough call. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. We do a very deep dive on what's going on with you and then we go over the coaching program. The call is free. The coaching program definitely is not, but I want people who are ready to change their lives. And again, thanks for listening.